What's up, guys? No intro today. This is Chris Amundsen here with my guy Larro Golden. Welcome to Bulls 101, where we are here live after another incredible DeMar DeRozan game winner. I can't believe it. It's never happened in the history of the NBA until tonight, so we shouldn't believe it. But what an incredible performance from him, Larro. I'm not sure if I'll be able to sleep tonight. I felt that way last night. And he did it again tonight. I could not believe it. But how are you feeling after that that corner three game winner from DeMar DeRozan tonight?
Man, first of all, man, it's great to be back doing the show with you, man. It's been like I feel like I've been wanting to talk ball for the longest. But that game, man, it just kind of really shows that each game has its own story in a way. Like not every game's gonna be perfect. There's gonna be games where things are not gonna be smooth, but the really good teams, they find ways to win games where they're not at their best, and that's kind of what they did. I mean, I remember when Kuzma hit the shot, I saw how much time was left, and I was like, dude, like it's almost when you have two guys like Zach and DeMar, like you just want to see what's gonna happen. Like,
Yeah.
You just never know with those two guys on your team. So I was still kind of holding out hope. And to see DeMar knock that shot down, it was just unreal, man. I mean, I was in here clipping for the show and watching at the same time. And my wife is in the kitchen, and I go, no way. Like, no way. She's like, what? I'm like, DeMar did it again. It's amazing that we have the two caliber of tough shot makers that we have on this team, and it just shines night in and night out, honestly, man. So I mean, gosh, man, I'm still kind of like feeling it, man.
Yeah. Let's see. We got a comment from, if I'm saying this right, Nuka X. DeMar is the king. He's the king of the fourth, man. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you, Larro. I turned off this game with about 10 minutes to go, not because I thought the Bulls would lose, but because the Bulls were stressing me the heck out. And I was like, I can't watch this game anymore. It's just too stressful. I'm watching Kyle Kuzma go off and like just roll into this layup line. The Wizards had 72 points in the paint tonight. 72 points in the paint to our 30. That's a game you should lose. I mean, there's no way around it. The Bulls should have lost that game. But they just kept coming. They kept going. Kobe White, once again, was instrumental in salvaging the night. Zach LaVine at 35. He basically kept the thing close in the first half by himself. And he even hit a three at the buzzer that was eventually waved off. And then Vooch came out with 22. And DeMar, even though he had another tough shooting night, this is 2 nights in a row, he just wins. Like, he's just a winner. There's some there's some Raptors haters out there that still want to hold the playoff series 5 years ago against them. But I just enjoy. I don't know what's going to happen in the playoffs if and when we make the playoffs. But I have to enjoy it today. What he's doing is incredible. What he's doing for this team is incredible. And I mean, what a time to be alive as a Bulls fan than right now.
My thing about what people are saying about DeMar is like I said, man, it's like I said, basketball games have every story is different. Every game is different from the next game. And obviously you have games where maybe Zach goes 30 plus for 7 games or something like that. But like usually every game has its own story how it goes out. And that's how I feel about careers. Like you just never know, man. You never know when it's somebody's time. I mean, I remember, this is probably doing too much, but I remember when LeBron was young and LeBron's never going to win. LeBron's never going to win. He doesn't have the killer instinct. And then now where we're at today, LeBron is one, maybe top 3, top 2 players, depending on who how you view them, players of all time. And it's every player has something like that. And then maybe down the line they change the narrative. And like I've said before on the show, it's like the only way to change the narrative is to change the narrative. So, but right now, like DeMar's doing the best thing. He's doing what he can, and what he should be doing is worrying about the next game. Not worrying about playoff performance. How about let's just get there and let's try to be the best seed we can be. We can be at that point. But I honestly did clip a few clips from the game, but I kind of felt like we already we got to the shot at the end, so I kind of wanted to show it again, pop it up on the screen.
Yeah,
because
let's do it.
My goodness, man, this shot, like it's
just wild stuff, man. Wild stuff.
It's truly like unbelievable, man. I remember seeing the set. I'm like, okay, box set here. What are they gonna do? And literally, it seems like they were trying to get Zach a look here.
Yeah.
But so what's gonna happen is Zach and DeMar, they're on the far side of the inbounder, which is Kobe. DeMar's on the low block. Zach's on the elbow. They just kind of interchange here. And what happens is they get Ayo, who's on the nearest block, low block, and he kind of wraps around Vooch, who's at the closest elbow as well, and they almost do like a scissor cut here off of Vooch, and it kind of confuses Corey Kispert, which is, I mean, just I love seeing that stuff, but it kind of like holds Kispert and KCP up a little bit because they have to communicate with each other. Kispert stays with him. And DeMar does
KCP.
Yeah.
KCP right there. He's like, wait, where do I go? Where do I go? Where's my guy? He sees Ayo in that corner.
Man,
the lob dunk.
Dude, and what I love is like Vooch is like screening two dudes here. But anyway, so KCP does a good job of just face guarding him. But what I love about Zach is about DeMar is a lot of guys will just cut and just stand. DeMar he cut and he kind of like boxed him out, posted him up, and so he could get that ball in here. And then the rest is, what we know. Pump fakes, gets Kispert up in the air, pump fakes again, and gets Beal in the air, and just game. It's just,
it's stupid.
I just don't understand. You got to see Gafford's face. I don't know if you saw it. But Gafford's face to me is hilarious.
That's great.
Like where here it's got to be coming up here in a second here. Let's see. It should be coming up. I love it. Kobe is excited. These guys they love each other, man. But look at Gafford's face. Look at Gafford's face.
Like,
oh my gosh.
What you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do with that? I love that. I put up Justin Holiday's face from last night's game winner, or he's just like this mother, like that face of like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with that,
dude?
Amazing stuff. I wanted to say a quick word on DeMar, which is people are allowed to grow. I don't know what it is about some fans, like they just think, oh, because he's past his prime, that he can't develop, that he can't get better, that he can't adapt and maximize his talents. But that's what he's doing. Coaches can improve, players can improve, and we're going to talk about a couple of people tonight, a couple of players tonight that have all shown, I think, a lot of growth in the last few weeks. So we kind of tease it out and on Twitter, but we're going to talk about Vooch, who's had a resurgence. You wrote a great article on it this week. So I know I wanted to touch on that. Yeah, it ended up in best reporting. Congratulations, my man. And then we're going to talk about Kobe and Kobe's improved playmaking, which has been on display recently. We're going to talk about Troy Brown Jr. and the little things that he's doing to make the game easier, to help his teammates out. He's had some really solid minutes. And then Ayo Dosunmu, talk about his finishing at the rim, which has gone up exponentially, basically, since the beginning of the season to now. He's been on another level. And then there were a couple. You mentioned that play tonight against the Wizards. The Bulls got Kispert onto DeMar rather than having KCP on him. KCP is obviously a really good defender.
Yep.
But little things like that helped make that play possible. And last night against the Pacers, there were a couple of things leading up to that DeMar shot that made the DeMar shot possible and allowed the Bulls to get that win. And we'll talk about some of the the unsung heroes of that play. So we'll get into that a little later tonight. But I know it looked like you had a clip from tonight about Kobe.
Dude,
Do you want to get into Kobe? We can talk about Kobe.
I know you got clips coming, but I didn't know if you'd be able to get this one or not. But I just, when I saw this play, this just let me know that he's just in another mindset. Like he's just thinking differently. And I think we have a question here that I think we might want to attack.
Yeah, let's do that. So Ferg says, with the way that Kobe's playing, should we trade him for a backup big, or do we go to the buyout market? It's a good question because here's the thing. I don't know about you, but I feel like this team needs a Kobe, right? In Kobe's optimal role, we need someone like that on the team, a bench scorer who can, play alongside the starters if needed, can be that spark plug that can, get hot the last 2 nights, get hot when some of the other guys aren't carrying their load. Like the bench tonight was awful offensively.
Yeah.
And Kobe put up another 20-something points tonight and had some nice passes and defense. And so Kobe, if he can continue to get better and he continue to be more consistent at those things, I don't see any reason we need to trade him right now, because where are you going to find that kind of production on the market for that price? I don't think you're going to get it right now. The difference is if you can trade him for a guy like Jeremy Grant or Pascal Siakam, like a big upgrade to your starting five in place of Patrick Williams, I think it would make sense to do that. But otherwise, I think you could probably keep him. And I think we've got some other ways we can improve, to get a big. So good question, Ferg. Yeah, it looks like you're agreeing with me as I'm saying it. So, but yeah, I think that's where I stand on it. What about you?
So, man, for me, I think you said it, man. Like this team, like, yes, like we have Zach, we have DeMar, we have Vooch. And Lonzo, you can put him you can put him with that group in terms of, the impact he has on the floor. But like in terms of scoring, especially off the bench, like you got to think about it. He's doing this in the starting lineup against starting caliber players. What will he do now that he has that confidence? Now he understands the role, what they need from him. You can clearly see it. When he came back, he was looking to get the ball to Zach. He's looking to get the ball to DeMar. He was trying to get to a corner. You can clearly see he's a lot more comfortable in what they want to run, in what they expect out of him. He's more confident in the shots that he's taking. I think he's starting to see where his shots are going to come from. And if Kobe can continue, if he can continue to do these things, I'm sorry, I don't think there's another player you can get on the market that does what he does. And I mean, come on, man. Like you bring in, Caruso off the bench with Kobe. I mean, that's tough, man. Caruso takes the tougher guard, and you allow him to play the weaker player on the off the bench. And now if he, the proof is in the pudding right now, man. The dude is playing at a high level, man. Like honestly, he's playing really well for his role. He's taking the right shots. He may not make all of them, but he's taking the right shots confidently, and for the most part, he's shooting the ball really well. And you're going to talk about it. It's something that stands out. It's his playmaking right now. He's what I love about what he's doing right now too is he used to be kind of like one speed, rip and go, and now he's kind of learning how to play with the ball a little bit and use that speed to hit another gear, to get downhill and either get to the rim. And now he's actually making he's making the skip pass and getting the defense in rotation. That stuff from Kobe, and for that to come off the bench, I'm sorry, man. That's something that you need, especially in the playoffs. Another guy that can get his own shot, catch when the game gets to a slow down game in the half court. And you've seen it with the Nuggets when they had when Jamal Murray was healthy. When it gets to a point where teams know each other's tendencies and know the offense, where you can put Vooch on the block, you could put Zach on a wing, you could put DeMar in a corner you could put Kobe in either a wing or a corner and spread the floor out. And now you make teams pay for when help comes. And if Kobe can continue to play this way, and to be honest with you, the way his confidence is, I just can't see it going any other way. The dude has continued to show resiliency. He comes back from a shoulder injury, no training camp, no practice, coming off a shoulder injury, hearing all the boo-boo that's coming out of fans' mouths, and does this stuff, plays like this. Like this.
Look at
this
you
is
censored yourself.
I know, man. Like I was going to say something crazy, but yeah, man. That's just how I feel about Kobe right now.
Well, listen, Larry, you're 100% right. I was going to say the man did not play basketball for 6 months. Had a shoulder injury, so he couldn't have the types of off-season workouts that he wanted. Came to a team with 10 new players on it, where his role was significantly different than it was last year. And I told everyone who would listen, Kobe is going to be very up and down.
Yeah.
When he comes back, he hasn't played. He's a new role, a new team. I don't know what his conditioning's like. It's going to be up and down. He's going to have some hot shooting nights, but he's going to have some terrible shooting nights. You just don't know how he's going to play. I'm impressed with how quickly he has kind of rounded into shape, and picked up that consistency. Not, he may have an off shooting night, but he's doing better. He's on track to do a lot better than I thought he was going to do at this point in the season. I honestly thought it's going to take him to like February, March, April to really kind of get back in his groove. And even his first 2 seasons, he's kind of taken a few months to kind of really get into a groove. He's the first 2 seasons, at least, he's kind of struggled shooting, or kind of struggled with his role. And to be fair, both of those seasons, he had very, very different roles. When he was a rookie, he was asked to be a gunner off the bench. He wasn't asked to guard point of attack, but they were doing drop defense, they were doing the blitz. And so then the second year he came in, he's asked to be the starting point guard, and now we're running drop coverage, and he's at the point of attack. And it's too much stuff was thrust upon him.
He's still developing too. His second year was ripped away from him towards the end. When he was starting to get going, COVID came and it wiped all of that away. And so he's still continuing to develop. He's still learning what he can and cannot do in the league. And for him to be impacting the games, I mean, I think you said it as well. Like, without him, we probably don't beat Indiana. We probably don't win today. He's done some really good stuff for this team. Before we move on, I wanted to show this one play.
Yeah, no, please.
And then we can move on to whatever you want to attack. But here we go. So this is probably my favorite play from Kobe in this whole game. Probably my favorite play outside of the cross-court skip from the second Hawks game. And this is just, it made me happy to see this, because this is promising stuff, man, from Kobe. And he comes off the screen. Well, I mean, he doesn't really, that's another thing. Kobe sometimes doesn't use the screen really well, but hey, he uses the screen.
You'd always catch Wendell and Gafford for illegal screens because of that last year.
But what I love about Vooch is he's like, okay, he didn't hit me. I'm not going to try to get in there and try to get a screen. So he's just like, whatever. So what I love about this play right now too is he comes off the screen. He notices that KCP is still with him, so he kind of plays with him. Right, boom, he stops. Okay, who's coming? I got Anthony Gill. Pulls it back out. Boom, hits him. This is my favorite move from him. Right, stops, on a dime. Anthony Gill comes out. Nope. And so I'm thinking, okay, old Kobe is probably about to get this smacked off the glass from Gafford. And look at this. This is beautiful, man. Like that's a play that helps win ball games.
Yep.
And yeah, it's DJJ, but like it's the right play. It's the right play. I was very impressed.
And considering how terribly the Bulls were at getting into the paint tonight.
Yes.
Like that play, the Wizards were so focused on keeping him out of the paint.
Yes.
As soon as he got in the paint, you see the Wizards all scrambling for it. And that opened up that little hockey assist for DJJ corner three.
I love it, man.
Beautiful stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the way the Wizards play defense tonight is what teams are probably going to do in the playoffs, what they're going to try to do to the Bulls in the playoffs. So like just I'm glad they were able to see this have this in their back pocket on tape so they can really attack and think about different things they could do. But yeah, man,
I got you.
That was my favorite play for Kobe today. So I love that, man.
Yeah, no, he's been awesome. So do you want to continue to talk about Kobe, or do you want to talk about Vooch? Because I know your article kind of dove in on Vooch a little bit, and he's had a slow start, and he had a couple missed bunnies early in the game tonight. But there's a lot of stuff that Vooch has been doing that's been really important to this team. And so I know you got some clips on it that you showed in your article, but I wanted to kind of review a little bit of that. Do you want to go into that, or do you want me to show some Kobe clips first?
We can go on to Vooch. I had some clips from tonight about Vooch as well.
You're already on this, man. I was too stressed watching the game. I couldn't clip anything. Then I had to put my kids to bed.
Yeah, no, dude. Hey, I got a little lit from my wife about it too. So yeah, but
ball is life, baby.
But yeah, no, yeah. So tonight, I thought, Vooch deserves some talk. That's for sure. I thought tonight, the Bulls could have ran the pick and pop all day, all game, because, like you said, they were just so worried about Zach and DeMar getting downhill and getting into the paint. So whoever
and they did a great job.
Yeah,
they killed it. That Wizards defense is no joke tonight. They could not get dribble penetration.
It was good stuff, man. So whether it was Anthony Gill, sometimes it was Denny, and Gafford, they would obviously be showing two to the ball, and DeMar was able to. Vooch was able to get out to that top of the key three, sometimes just above the break, and that would be open. And I thought they could have done that a little bit more. I thought some of their double drag stuff was working today. And Nippy in the comments said Abdia's defense was impressive, and I truly believe that after watching it again with the clips. The dude was. Digging perfectly, switching on the Zach perfectly, playing really good defense. He was just doing some good stuff today.
He also complained every time he got Him and Kuzo were like, "I've never fouled anyone in my life. What are you talking about?"
The DeMar foul, I think, who was it? Didn't he foul out a DeMar foul, right? That was DeMar. I'm like, dude, are you serious? You literally just.
Oh, man,
and then tells the coach a review, like, bro, it was a foul. Like, what?
The first thing, if you're game planning to guard DeMar DeRozan, the first thing is do not bite on his pump fakes. The man is a wizard, no pun intended.
No, that was a good one. But no, like I said, they could have ran those things a bunch today. But I understand, you got guys like DeMar and Zach, like, hey, maybe if you spread the floor and get their own bucket. And Zach had 35 and DeMar had, 28 or something like that? Yep. So obviously, they got their buckets, but I thought they could have made it a little bit easier on themselves on the half court, with just maybe involving Vooch. It's a tad bit more. But all in all, got the win. But I did want to show. Let me pull it up here. Come on. What we got going? Oop. All right, I'm going to have to pull it up here myself. Let's go. Here we go.
All right. I'm ready for you.
All right, here we go. So what we got here is coming up from bringing the ball in early in the first quarter. Get a little flip here from Kobe. Then he's going to get a kind of a flip screen. He starts like he's going to set a screen on his right side, but he comes on his left, sets a screen. Zach snakes he tries to snake it, and Vooch has been rolling harder to the basket a lot more, I've been noticing, which is no problem with that. I mean, it collapses the defense, but maybe he pops here, never mind. It doesn't matter. I'm just overthinking it. But he snakes it and he brings it back. But what I love here is like if teams are so worried about Zach and DeMar getting downhill, there's going to be some times where they're going to have to switch, especially if Vooch really gets down here into the paint. I mean, the nearest guy's got to take him. It's a tough rotation for Gafford to get from here and to get back in front of the basket. So you're going to get some switches, and right here they did. And early on in the game, they really tried to attack these advantages, and Vooch did miss some bunnies. But I also thought that along with that, I mean, you got KCP ready to help on a post move, maybe to middle, and then Kispert was also doing a really good job. But this is what I really wanted to show, and this is what I mean, like in the playoffs, right? So DJJ, and let's say in a fourth quarter in the playoff game, he's probably not going to be on the floor if everybody's healthy at that time. You'll probably have Kobe, Zach, DeMar, and I can't think right now, but
we're like Lonzo.
Lonzo. Yeah, there we go. Lonzo, Caruso, they both work. So if you want to spread the floor, get all your shooters on the perimeter, right? It's either going to be, I mean, on a good day when like in the second half, when Vooch filled himself and he was making his bunnies and putting some touch on the ball, like teams are going to have to send help. And if they do, this is what happens. Kispert digs a little too deep. He kicks it out. It's a knockdown. And that's what I mean is like this is no disrespect to Wendell or anybody that we've had in the past. When you don't have like a true post presence down there, where they have a move to the left shoulder, move to the right shoulder, fadeaway jump shot, where there's so many things you have to defend on the post. You don't have this luxury of being able to throw the ball into the post and draw help so you can kick it out to your shooters. And that's another element to Vooch's game that he adds to the Chicago Bulls. And we all know that Kobe, we've seen last season towards the end of the year when they acquired Vooch, Kobe really flourished in the catch and shoot situations on the floor. So that is great. I love seeing Vooch and Kobe on the floor at the same time, and also DeMar and Kobe on the floor at the same time, because DeMar gets downhill and he's very unselfish, and he'll find Kobe in those advantageous situations. And again, man, like I just love this is the stuff that people just, like a lot of times what I've seen is, and this is not everyone, but a lot of times I'll see, whoa, what is he doing? He has Bradley Beal on him. Why is he not trying to score? Well, yeah, that's one thing. But at the same time, if you got to put yourself in his mindset, right? Okay, yeah, if I back him down and I turn my back to where the help is coming from, there's a situation where I can turn the ball over. Maybe I get myself in a bad situation. So what I'll do is I see my boy Kobe, who's a knockdown shooter. I'll take a couple dribbles and see what Corey Kispert is going to do. If Corey doesn't help, I'll go to work. But if he does, I'll shoot it back out. And that's exactly what happened. And Kobe shooting that ball with confidence.
Yeah, you saw Kispert after Vooch started dribbling, looked like he was going to go into his post move. Kispert takes a hard step towards Vooch. The moment he takes that step is when Vooch passes it back out. So you can see Vooch watch him watch Kispert and his movement.
Yep.
Looking right at him.
Yep.
So he's waiting, takes that step, boom, just gives him just enough time for Kobe to take that catch and shoot.
I mean, that's just
great
move.
Stuff. Yeah. Now you got what blows my mind about this is now that Kobe's kind of really getting his playmaking chops under him, you've got like 4 or 5 guys on this team that are really good playmakers, right? Like Zach, DeMar, Vooch, obviously Lonzo, Caruso. You got Kobe, and even like Troy Brown Jr., Derek Jones Jr. from the high post. Like they're good decision makers, and it's. I don't think it's any coincidence that the Bulls are such a low turnover team, and that guys like Zach, for example, Zach has the lowest turnovers of his career, or at least since he's come to Chicago. I don't think it's any coincidence. You got great passers who make good decisions with the ball, and you got guys like DeMar and Vooch that kind of calm you down in those key times. And I'm amazed, honestly, the chemistry that they've developed in such a short amount of time, especially Kobe, who wasn't even here for the first month. I'm just impressed at how well they've clicked and how well they've connected on all these different plays.
Yeah. I totally agree with you, man. I think Kobe said it in his press conference after the Hawks or Indiana game, I think, either the second Hawks game or after the Indiana game. But he even said, he was surprised how fast they jumped. He thought that it was going to take a while for them to gel, but he said, he said everybody's surprised that they gel so quick, But I mean, yeah. I think that's just really that shows to me AK and ME, understanding each player's tendencies, strengths, weaknesses, understanding what this team needs in order to be a great team, It's like puzzles, man. It's like doing a puzzle, right? If you find the right pieces and you put them on one team, a lot of times it'll just come together, So it's just good stuff by Acme, man.
Yep. It's not just getting talent, which they did do, but it's getting talent that fits together. And when there were rumors that they're looking to sign DeMar after they'd signed Lonzo and Caruso, me and you were both like, that's the guy that they need. Like he fits perfectly into what they need this season. And everyone was killing that trade. And I wrote an article basically saying, who cares if they overpaid? It's the right move. Yep. Like it's the right guy for the right time. And so far it's been the best move of the offseason of any offseason of any team. I'm sorry, of this offseason of any team. I mean, it's like he's an MVP candidate right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. Unreal.
Yeah.
But so this play here it's a very simple play. I talked about it in the article. It's a pick and pop. And the Bulls obviously run this a lot because of what these two guys and Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, the type of attention that they get from these defenses. It allows for this guy and Vucevic to have either open shots or to create for others. But something that I noticed in this game, and which is why I thought they could have ran the pick and pop more, is Vuce comes to set the screen, step a ball screen here for DeMar. DeMar comes off, right? So this is what I mean here, right? So I mean, two guys showing to the ball. Alze is on DeMar. Gafford is here, kind of, neglecting Vuce. Like, yes, this is open, but after a while, if they're going to continue to play this way, Kisper's going to have to come show. And then Vuce can simply swing it over to Kobe, and then maybe there's an opportunity to attack a closeout. There's just so many things, right? So if he gets down here, let's say Zach comes, because what you're taught, at least what I was taught in high school, even lower levels, is when you drive baseline, you get a baseline drift here from the corner, from the whoever's on the wing, you drift to the corner for it to become an outlet for the baseline drive. And let's say Kobe catches it and he attacks a closeout. He gets down there. Let's say Avdia has to come over. And now Zach's open for a corner three. But just from this simple action, that's what's so amazing to me, is when you put two guys with these type of skill sets together, how much it can really rattle a defense just from a simple set here. You swing it back here, boom. Usually, right, what I saw in the game earlier, later in the game, was what would happen is they started to notice that the shot was open and the help would come here harder. And you could have swung it, over to that wing area, that down, maybe continue to swing it to the corner. Maybe there's a drive baseline. But I just thought there could have been a little bit more use for this pick and pop in the game. And of course, he knocked it down on that one. But yeah, no, I just thought I just love the fact of it. I think part of it is too is for me, it's just aesthetically pleasing to see the type of offense that these guys run. It's anybody knows me, I love D-Rose, right? But a lot of D-Rose was just getting downhill, and I mean he did dunk on some dudes now. He was doing some crazy up and unders and all that good stuff. But I also really love to watch the ball movement, picking pops, picking rolls, short roll action. Like all that stuff is here. All that stuff is with this team. And that's what's fun about watching this team. I mean, every time a defense comes to play the Bulls, they know that you're not going to be able to rest tonight. There is no, okay, all we got to do is shut down this guy and we're good. Nope. When you come see the Bulls, okay, what are we going to do when Zach has the ball? What are we going to do when DeMar has the ball? What are we going to do when Vooch has the ball on the block? Okay, when Lonzo's on the break, how are we going to stop the ball and also worry about on the back end? So there's just so many things you're going to have to worry about.
So many problems. There's so many problems. You're 100% right. I mean, the problem with those D-Rose teams, as you mentioned, was if you could stop D-Rose because you weren't worried about anyone else offensively.
Yeah.
I mean, really, like Luol Deng is pretty good, but like he's not DeMar DeRozan or Zach LaVine or Vooch quality as far as an offensive player. You have a guy like Lonzo, Caruso who are elite transition players, and then DeMar and Zach, elite half-court offense players, and Vooch, who's just a great offensive hub who can pick and pop, who's a low-post presence, as you mentioned, smart with the ball. I mean, guarding the Chicago Bulls for a coach has got to be a terrible, terrible thing to game plan for. The only reason it's worked out for a lot of these coaches, I mean, as much as you can for a 24-10 team, is the Bulls have had like 0 games where they've had their whole team. They've been out, so it's like, all right, tonight we don't have to worry about Lonzo and Caruso, so let's get into the paint, and get these layups in, which is what the Wizards did. And all we got to do is keep DeMar and Zach out of the paint, and their team's not going to be able to hurt us. And it was a great game plan. I think the Wizards game planned for it perfectly. I mean, they were killing us on the inside, and then wouldn't let us in on the other end. So I thought they did a great job. But having a guy like Vooch, did you see that play last night where the Pacers zoned up for a play?
Oh yeah.
And Zach just passed to Vooch, and Vooch is like 5 guys all within 10 feet of him. He just like takes an open jumper, like zone buster.
Yeah, I mean, like in that particular situation, you're right. He hits that jumper a couple of times. Dudes are gonna have to come from somewhere, and Vooch is very good at finding where the open guy is, and he'll hit him. So it's good stuff, man. I mean, the dude may not get the love he probably deserved because of his slow start, but I mean, the dude is very big for this team. So, but
literally very big. Look at you.
But so in this situation, I don't believe I put this in the article, but this is the him in a drop situation here on defense against Indiana. So Chris Duarte is coming here. I believe Io's on ball. Sabonis is going to set a screen here. And Duarte comes off. And this is why I love Duarte. This is why I'm a big fan of Duarte. A lot of guards come in the league. They don't understand how to put guys in jail. And Duarte does a really good job of keeping Io, kind of keeping him. He was trying his best to keep Io behind him. But the fact that he had that in his mindset, like, okay, I came off the screen. Let me try to keep him behind me. But this is what I love about Io, though, is Io did this tonight as well against, I believe I have the clip too, but he did it tonight as well where they ran that horns, a double high horn set that they ran like 6 or 7 times in a row, it felt like. And Bradley came off the screen. He tried to put Ao in jail, but Ao did a really good job of getting back, and he contested the shot. I believe him and DJJ actually blocked the shot.
Yeah.
So like that's what I love about Io, which is something we talked about, me, you, Mark K, before the season happened, when we were kind of talking about what Io could be for the Bulls if he wanted to be on the floor. And we talked about his wingspan being a huge deal for him, having a 6'10" wingspan. That is huge for him. And it really shows. I mean, especially against Trey the other night, where he was able to recover and get that block with his wingspan is huge for him. And that exact role that we talked about him, him being able to get onto the floor, he's really bought into it. And we'll obviously talk about it a little bit more later. But
sure.
But yeah, so Io fights back. But this is what I love too. Like Vooch, look at his arms. Like a lot of bigs, like they just kind of have their arms wherever. But like Vooch is low. He's got his arms out wide. He's ready to play the passing lane. He's just ready. He looks like a basketball player ready to play, right? So he does a really good job showing his hands, and then he just stays solid. And that's what I love about him. He just stays solid. A lot of times, like guards, bigs, they come downhill, and Vooch, a lot of times, he doesn't try to get a block, but he just tries to make guys finish over the top of him. And that's what, if you're not a shot blocker, that's what you need to do, right? And you don't want to be out here trying to block dudes' shots and just fouling and knowing you're not a shot blocker. And that's what I love about him. He knows the type of player he is. He's gonna stay grounded. He's gonna use his wingspan. He's a big dude. He's gonna make you finish over the top of him. And that's what he did here. Did a good job. And he's fighting, and he makes the team have to go to something different. And that's wide open. But like the fact of like Domas couldn't finish down here. He had to kick it out to a lower percentage shot. Like that's stuff that I like, at least. Like I like the fact of that he made Sabonis be like, I can't get it done in here. So let me kick it out to the 3-point line. I'd rather, like, that's a high percentage shot. Kick it out to this guy who has I don't know what Miles Turner is shooting, but I'm pretty sure it ain't nowhere near 40. But that's the stuff I love about Vooch, that it doesn't get enough recognition. Like, yes, he doesn't get the big blocks. He's not sending dudes shots into the fourth row. That's not his game. And that's what I like about him. He plays within himself. He understands what his strengths and his weaknesses are. He's not going to get dumb fouls. That's what I think of when I see him like not go for blocks. Sometimes I think of him being like, you know what, that's going to be a foul if I jump. That's 2 points. Let me go back and go get it at some point else. I mean, and as we saw tonight, he had a huge block. Huge block that helped his team, help the Bulls win against the Wizards.
Yep. Ferg here in the comments mentioned that as well. That was a big block tonight. So
yeah, man.
Playing within yourself and knowing your capabilities is one of the best qualities you can have as a basketball player in the NBA. Is knowing what you can do and what you can't do.
Yeah. This next clip is against the Nuggets. And I thought this was a cool clip.
Shout out Denzel Valentine, by the way.
Hey, but I thought this Nuggets, this clip against the Nuggets was pretty cool because, first of all, the Nuggets are running a play for Jokic to come off multiple screens. That's crazy to me. But yeah. So right. So he gets a pin down. Who is that? Monte. He gets a pin down from Monte. He gets another screen for Jeff Green. But like the thing is, it's like just watch Vooch. I mean, dude's fighting. This is a big dude. Stays with him, and again, he stays on his feet, arms out high. If you're gonna make the shot, you're gonna make it over me. You're not going through my chest. You're not gonna, get by me. You're going to have to score over me, and that's what he did. He stayed high, and boom. That's all you need. Yes, cool. It's cool to see dudes get their shots pinned off the glass. Yeah, no doubt. But like, that's just, it's all in the stat sheet is all known as one block. It's not known as a one block and then one nasty block. No, it's one block. So, or like just altering shots, and he does that really well.
I wish they do like that block had a little extra on it. I wish they would keep track of that. Tell me what the nastiest blocks were. Can I get a little star next to him or something?
Dude, like, you're so right. That would be kind of cool.
But you're right. Cool. It all counts. If you send the ball into the third row, or if you just tip it with your fingers and make it not go in, it's a block either way. In fact, I prefer the latter for actually recovering the ball, because if you knock it into the third row, they get the ball back.
Yeah. And that would actually be cool though. Just like in football, where you wish like certain quarterbacks wouldn't get interceptions because their receivers take the ball in the air. But anyway, so another clip against the Nuggets here. Still on Vooch defense here. So they run like an Iverson cut here. The Bulls used to run this. Well, they still run it a little bit, but last season I felt like they ran an Iverson cut every single play.
Yeah.
But so you get an Iverson cut here from Will Barton. You got Jokic at the elbow, and then you got Jeff Green at the elbow. You got Aaron Gordon moving over to the left corner. So what they do is they enter it to the elbow here. Jeff Green. Monte is gonna come down, set like a little screen, the down screen here, a little pin down here for Jokic on Vooch. And like, look at that! Like,
I love the plays that they run for Jokic.
Seriously, like the stuff that Vooch has to do to go against Jokic. He's probably like, what? Like, why am I running through pin downs right now? Like, but look at
this jump though. he's like, nope. Monte, get out my way. I gotta
get this hand up. So. Right, so he does, and I mean, again, right, so he gets his hand up, and Jokic's like, okay, let me get it out of here. Swings it over to Aaron Gordon in the corner. DJJ comes out, makes him work a little bit. He swings it back to Jokic. I mean, come on. I mean, guys, look at this big man out here doing his best to move his feet.
Like, he moves laterally.
Look at this.
He moves laterally pretty well, actually.
Like, this
for what it is.
Like, you're 7-footer, 260. This ain't Wendell Carter. This ain't Wendell Carter Jr. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is Vooch out here moving his feet, chopping his feet, staying in front, walling up. You know, again, Jokic moving the ball out. Okay, let me get a repost. Boom. I'm still here, baby. I'm on my feet. Gonna have to score over me. Nope. Let's go. Like, that's the stuff that I appreciate from this guy, man. Like, again, he stays within himself. I'm not about to try to block Jokic's shot. I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna make him shoot over me. And I mean, that's the stuff I watch, you know, and I know you watch as well. I wish more people would watch this type of stuff from Vooch. He is absolutely not appreciated enough, in my opinion. So, but
when's the wedding? Send me an invitation. Sorry,
you're a fool. But
yes, I am.
No, but so I'll probably.
What's up, Vinny? Oh, sorry. Vinny's here. Yeah.
What's up, man?
Have you seen your doctor recently? If you're seeing that much red.
Oh. So then I was going to show a couple clips of his playmaking here, but once again, just the simple action of just a screen roll, screen and pop. Like it just adds so much stress to a team. Right, you stick it here, you swing it out to the top of the key. Like Gordon, he has to come out and show kind of like he's helping at the nail. And this is another thing that people don't talk enough about: the ability to put the ball on the deck. Like, look at this. Look at this 7-footer, man. Look at this 7-foot center who looks like he shouldn't be able to do this. Just being able to get by Miles Bridges, kick it to Lonzo 4-3. Like,
we got way too many point guards on this team. Look at that.
Like, come on. Like, this is the stuff I'm talking about, man. Like, that's Miles Bridges that he just drove by. Like, that's not a slouch. You know, and he probably caught him off guard. Right? It's like, there's no way this big dude is going to, you know what I'm saying? There's no way this big dude's going to drive by. Oh, he's driving by. like, it's just.
I love it.
I don't know, man. Like, I get a little too excited because I played big when I was in, high school. So maybe I just feel a certain way. But
no. My favorite. I gotta tell you, my favorite clip of all time is Pau Gasol. Do you remember this clip where there's a steal or something, and he gets on the fast break and he's dribbling it between his legs.
Oh yes,
and just doing all that stuff, and then goes up and I think it's Weber. Chris Webber's on the call. And he's just showering Pau Gasol with love as he's doing all this stuff. Like, let the big man work. Like,
Yes,
I love it.
sir.
That's my favorite clip of all time in basketball. My favorite
Man, but yeah, no,
I get the big man love.
I don't. And here's the other thing too: is like, yes, these dudes are playing they're playing really well, man. Like again, they do have games where you're like, okay, guys, let's go, but they eventually win in the ball game, you know, and eventually, like as a coach, like it's almost like if we're playing pickup and we're having we can't hit a shot, right? We can't hit a shot, but whenever it's game time, who cares if I couldn't hit a shot? Like let's just get the dub, and then we'll talk about what happened before, right? But it's a little bit easier to talk about those things of you having a rough start or you couldn't hit a shot after a win, you know.
That's
so
be like DeMar, baby.
You got to focus. Exactly.
Just be like DeMar.
Exactly. Exactly.
I went 10 for 24. Doesn't matter. I hit the game winner.
Exactly. That's the way it's got to be. That's the way it's got to be. You got to have a short memory. Next play, baby. Next play. But yeah, another screen.
MG Blazer.
What's up, MG? Oh wait, you know what? I wanted to show a different one here. Here we go. So yeah, so we're playing against the Knicks. Caruso, we miss you, brother. Come back soon. Caruso has the ball in his hands.
I need Caruso back in my life, man. And Lonzo.
Brad Beal. I was gonna tweet this out, but I didn't want to seem like a meatball fan or just a meatball guy. But I was gonna tweet. Brad Beal was very lucky correctional officer, but Alex Caruso wasn't on the floor tonight. He is very lucky. But,
hey, Io locked him down a couple plays in a row. That was man. That was fun to watch.
I just know.
I love Io.
This team, man. This team. Can we talk about somebody? Actually, we're gonna talk about him later. Never mind. We're gonna talk about him later. Yeah. So last clip I'll show for in terms of like Vooch is right. So you get Caruso bringing the ball up, hands off to Zach in the corner here. Zach comes off. You're going to get a pick here from Vooch once again. And this is what I love, again, right? So when this action happens, the guy guarding the ball and the guy guarding Vooch, they have to be on a string. They have to understand what they're going to do. Okay, well, and I'm pretty sure this guy over here, Coach Tibbs, he has talked about this. So you would expect for a team to understand what they need to do in this situation when Tibbs is their coach. So if these two are not on the same page, well, that puts a lot of stress on these two in the back here with Rose and Evan Fournier in the backside. That's the low man. So what happens is Vooch pop. Well, he kind of slips, I should say. He slips, and what happens is, let me see here. Let me get back here. Yep, here we go. So he screens, he slips, and they must have talked about this already because Evan was coming right away. So it must have been something where they're going to show two to the ball, get the ball. We're going to get the ball out of Zach and out of DeMar's hands, and we're just going to have to rotate and be good on the backside. So Evan Fournier comes. You see Derek is already like, oh, shoot, I got to cut. And that's a great cut by Javonte because obviously D-Rose is going to have to honor that. And once again, Vooch makes the right read, and he finds TBJ in the corner, knockdown. That little action adds so much stress. And that's what the Wizards were trying to stay out of all night tonight. They're like, there's no way we're going to allow that ball to touch that paint. They're going to have to be perimeter oriented in order to get this dub. And, the game winner was a 3-ball. So they did, I guess they did their job.
They shot over 50% from 3. It's just stupid, man. It's stupid. Listen, they had zero business winning this game. Zero. There's no way the Bulls should have won this game. They gave up 72 points in the paint. And anytime they didn't get a layup, they got fouled in a shooting motion. I swear, every time it seemed like. They had no business winning this game. And the Bulls went 17 to 34 from 3, 50%. Yeah. So it's just stupid.
It's crazy, man. Like, we're gonna touch on them because you and pause, by the way. But you are going to talk about TBJ. And the minutes that he gives have been, I love them. I love the
I
minutes.
love TBJ's minutes.
This team is a lot deeper than we thought. I think that we have some players, and yes, I hope there's something that we're not being told yet about Pat. Maybe Pat is a little bit closer than was originally thought because of them denying that. What was that? I forgot what it's called.
The disabled player exception.
Yeah. And maybe that's what that means. Who knows? But this team has some pieces, man. Especially once you get Lonzo back, get Caruso back. Even Alfonso McKinney has shown some things that can really help this team. And that's you know how we are, man. We're not just the fluff guys. We're talking about defensive rotations, fighting through screens, offensively cutting when he needs to cut, spacing when he needs to space, knowing he needs to be on not just like fluff stuff like, oh, he hit a three or he dunked the ball. No, we're talking about being able to plug and play a guy because he does the right things on the floor. That's what he does, man.
And also the processing speed of a lot of the players on this team is just so much improved from years past. Yeah. Like Troy Brown Jr., who's our like 9th, 10th man off the bench.
Yeah.
The way he processes, his processing speed on his playmaking is really, really good. Like he's able to take advantage of things because he sees the floor, he sees the pass, and he's able to make the pass that a lot of guys of his stature aren't able to do. I mean, he's still pretty young, and obviously he's been in and out of the rotation all year. But we'll get to the clips. But I've been really impressed with his playmaking and passing, and just the processing speed that he reads the game with is pretty impressive. And we got Lonzo and Caruso process the game at such a high level. Vooch processes a high level. DeMar and Zach, I don't think naturally did in the beginning of their careers, but they've really, really honed that skill.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of guys that can do that. And Kobe's on his way. So, Kobe's getting better every time we see him. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think the depth on this team, which is a bunch of kind of no names.
Yeah.
And actually, the guy I thought would be really important, Alize Johnson.
Yeah.
We ended up cutting.
Yeah.
And Stanley Johnson, who's now, like the third best player on the Lakers, apparently.
Man, I'm so mad because I really wanted him on this team. But,
I did too.
Hey, but you know what? Because I feel like he could have. Never mind. But anyway,
I'm with you. I know.
But you talked about Zach and his playmaking and how it's taken a step up tonight. I don't know if you've seen it, but there was a pass to go. I don't know if we were tied, if we were up one. Can't remember exactly. But
I think I'd turn the game off by that point.
Oh man, like
because he had some rough passes earlier.
Zach had a dime to Vooch. Like he went right side down towards the corner, came back up, and as he's coming up, he's looking at DeMar, who's at the top of the key, but Vooch is wide open on the corner, and he looks at DeMar and throws a dime bounce pass to Vooch. Oh my gosh, it was a dime ball, and Vooch just missed it. It rolled out, but like, man, if he would have made that shot. Like Zach, like you said, you're so right, man. You know me. I'm not like I don't usually go to Twitter to say, oh, that was trash or whatever. But like there were a couple passes where I think it was Io that had a cut. He was wide open if he looked right away. But he kind of waited and then he threw it, and it was like, dude, it was too late. Like, what are we doing? He had a couple passes like that, man. But Zach, man, he's one of those players in the league that. Yes, he makes mistakes, but the way he continues to make tough shots, the way he steps up. I mean, tonight, him stepping up and trying to guard Brad Beal, like that to me, he had a big defensive stop towards the end of the game on Brad Beal that was huge. Like Zach, I could tell he's trying, man. He's trying to become a better defender. He's trying to be a better passer and be more smart about these passes. But I think he's still trying to get some of those habits out of there, especially passing-wise. Like passing, I feel like he's been a lot better lately, but I think there are still some passes that he's trying to get out of the system. Like, certain passes that you're just like, Zach, come on now, you're a better player now. We don't do those type of passes anymore, But yeah, no, I totally agree. Zach is definitely, and DeMar. I mean, man, especially DeMar, his playmaking has really just been wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, I got nothing bad to say about it.
What we doing
let's
next?
see. Is that all you want to talk about with Vooch?
So I mean, here's the deal, man. I think I would just tell people to go read the article if you haven't. But like I just talked about exactly what I just talked about with everybody that's in here watching us or listening right now is that there's things that Vooch brings to the floor other than like making shots. Like making shots is huge, no doubt about that. But there are other things that make this team go that he's a big part of. And that's playmaking out of the post, playmaking out of two-man game, and being defensive, being a defensive anchor, if you will, in what they run defensively and drop, whether it's at the level, whether it's dropping a little bit lower, like just making sure he's in front of the basket, helping out, around the basket. So no, like, but we can move on. And have some fun, man. And talk about some of the guys that you want to talk about, man.
Well, I just put up the link here to that article. So if you guys have not read the article, you can, if you watch this on YouTube, if you're watching it live, or you want to go back and watch it, come check out this article that Larro wrote on Vooch and goes in depth on all that stuff. So it's really, really good. Let's talk about Kobe then, since we've been talking about Kobe. We started off with Kobe. If you want to pull up some of the clips I got of just the last, I think it was the Pacers game, one of the Hawks games that I just really enjoyed what he's brought. So this first one is kind of in transition here. So he's come up the floor and just catches Javonte Green, who's diving down the right side of the floor. He gets that little 180 reverse dunk. I loved it. So I mean, nothing too crazy here, but just transition. I think Kobe's decision making in transition, I think, has improved since he's come back. It's he's just getting a little bit better at it.
I think exactly. What's funny is like when we were talking about who we wanted to talk about today, and when you had brought up Kobe, this was one of the plays I thought about because. If once he got the ball, I believe I don't remember if he rebounded it or got it from Vooch, but he was kind of like jogging it up, and then I think he noticed that they had an advantage, and then that's when he turned on the burners and he just got the ball up. And I think that's a part of playing with a guy like Lonzo, that when you start to notice things like that, like, oh wait, if I just get it ahead. Like Javonte has shown he can go finish that thing off, and like that. I think this is a great clip though, man, because like I said, like a little bit earlier, like he was jogging it and then he looked up and said, oh shoot, let me get it up. And just him noticing that there was an advantage, that is to me just a great step in his learning, on the job.
And it's contagious when
guys
who play with Lonzo, they run hard in transition because they know Lonzo's going to find them. And so if Kobe can establish that, he gets the ball and he's gonna just turn on the jets in transition. The more he shows that he's gonna find guys like Javonte, the more that guys like Javonte and Derek Jones and Troy Brown are gonna just dash as fast as they can because they know Kobe's gonna be looking for them. So it's a contagious thing, and our transition game has been one of the keys to our offense this year. And our offense, by the way, our offense is currently top 5.
Mm-hmm.
And our defense is top 10. So we're top 10 in both categories. Even the last 2 weeks, we've been number 1 on offense and 24th on defense because of the lack of Caruso and Lonzo. Our offense is holding it down for us right now. So here's another one. Kobe gets a little dribble handoff or a little handoff from Tyler Cook here. Top key. By the way, they've had incredible chemistry in the 2 games they played together.
Yeah.
Tyler Cook and Kobe have been really, really good. So he just gets a little dribble handoff, and then Kobe does that little hesitation, pulls it back, and then Tyler Cook does a little ghost screen, slips the screen. Kobe just pinpoints right through the legs of the 2 defenders for an open dunk that Tyler Cook finishes. So I just thought, because they're worried. If you see Cam Reddish is so worried about Kobe, because one of Kobe's great skills is his speed from downhill, his 0 to 100 is so quick. He gets going so fast, and so Cam Reddish is so quick at that. And you saw in that hesitation dribble that he did the other in tonight's game, he's now using that to his advantage. He knows, hey, they know I'm going to go quick, so I'm going to use that to my advantage, pull back, and then he takes that the little pick and roll with the go screen. He slips that screen, and then it just gets the defenders on their heels.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. It does remind me of kind of Kobe and Vooch, that kind of chemistry that they've had. Tyler Cook has picked up really, really quickly. So I really like that little play there. Just showed quick decision making, and what opened it up for Kobe was that little kind of he kind of took a step in the lane, pulled it back, and then was able to direct those two defenders, get the attention on him, which allowed Tyler Cook to get a roll to the basket for free. So just a great play, high percentage shot.
And I truly hope that he's okay.
Yeah, I hope so too. He took him out on a stretcher. I hope it's not like an Achilles or something, man.
Right.
That'd be awful. I hope it's just an ankle sprain. But
seriously,
prayers up to Tyler Cook. He's been awesome.
Yeah.
All right, here's another one. Kobe's at the top of the key. Tyler Cook sets the screen going left. Cam Reddish comes around, and here it goes again. Just catches the little.
Oh my god!
Little bounce pass from him. Let's see here, and then he has a monster dunk.
Oh my gosh, man!
I know. So these are the more simple plays that he had against the Hawks, but he's just so precise with it. And Tyler Cook knew exactly what to do. Knew it was coming to him. When Vooch runs this play with Kobe, he knows that Kobe's going to hit him in the right spot. Kobe's just gotten so much better at making these simple reads.
Yeah.
All right, so here's another one. He's going to do. Well, here's one with Vooch. Little empty corner pick and roll. And Vooch steps out to 17-foot baseline and knocks down the shot.
I'm trying to think. That play brought up a question for you. So in the playoffs, and I think, and I know early in the season we were kind of like, let's not. It's early, but I mean, come on. We've seen enough games to know that this team is probably a playoff team.
Yeah, we're almost halfway through the season, and we're first, and with half our guys. I hope so. I mean, knock on wood, but if they keep playing like they've been playing, it's going to be a playoff team.
So my question is, how many in the Eastern Conference, right? How many bigs? Because I believe the Bulls are going to run a lot of this empty side stuff here. How many bigs do you think can show here and then get back to this shot? Because Capella obviously has had trouble, but
Bam. I think Bam can do it for sure. Embiid, if he's healthy. Who else? I'm trying to think of other bigs in the East. Maybe Claxton. Claxton's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think Millsap's fast enough. I don't think Brook Lopez can do that. I'm trying to think of other playoff teams. Who else is in the playoffs? The Cavs. Hey, Mobley can shoot.
Oh yeah, Mobley is a boy.
And
Mobley
Allen
is something.
I hope we don't. I do not want to face the Cavs.
Yeah, the Cavs are a tough team.
But it's a low number. It's a low number. I mean, it's the top 5 teams in the East. Like 3 of them.
Giannis. Oh my gosh, they can play him.
Giannis. Yeah, I mean Giannis can do everything. So
Giannis can do everything.
Giannis, the Bucks are the team. The Bucks and the Heat are the 2 teams I really, really worry about playing in the playoffs, and I hope we avoid both of them. I hope they play each other, and one of them gets knocked out. Because of the Giannis, Bam, Jimmy problems.
Yes,
it's a lot. So, anyways, All right, so here's another play from Kobe. Comes up the right side of the floor. Does a little dribble handoff with Ayo to Vooch. Back to Kobe. Now this Kobe. So Kobe's been doing this a lot better. Because as you mentioned tonight, Kobe of the past would get into the lane and he would immediately try and take this layup and he'd get it blocked all the time. Like he probably led the league in getting his layups blocked the first 2 years. But this time he's been getting into the paint under the basket and he kind of probes. He's been probing a lot more of the defense. He does a little kind of Steve Nash thing where he just gets right into the basket. And this time he takes his time, does a little Euro step, gives him just that extra half second for Javonte Green to make the cut for a dunk. So that's just – I know when people are watching this, they're not really seeing – I don't think people really see that incremental improvement.
Yeah.
But I know you and I have been watching this and kind of breaking down this film. That's growth from Kobe. Kobe was not doing that a year ago, or at least not with any consistency. And now it seems like every game he's throwing a little dime like that, or when he gets into the paint, he's taking his time. The game is slowed down for him as a playmaker, and he's able to make those reads and watch people cut and time it a lot better than he has in the past. So I don't know about you, but it's been really impressive to me.
Yeah, man. I don't know if you could feel the energy earlier in the show talking about Kobe, but I just love the fact of him. I feel like he's finally understanding what his go-to skill is in this league now. Like I feel like he was doing a bunch of different things, but now I feel like he understands, especially on this team where he doesn't have to be the lead ball handler. He can flip that ball to Zach or flip that ball to DeMar and get to a wing or get to a corner, and he'll be put in situations where he can use that speed to create havoc, and teams are gonna have to come and show to help on a layup because I mean with his speed he's able to rip and get by guys. He's not going to get short closeouts. He's always going to get aggressive closeouts because he's that type of shooter. So he's always going to be able to get by guys. And he now has taken that next step, which you just talked about, in making the right read, whether it's a drop off or I think on this next clip is the one clip that I loved against Atlanta. This was the very first pass where I was like, okay. He's seeing the floor and he understands what he needs to do.
Yeah. By the way, this is not alcoholic. It's root beer. Henry Weinhardt's. Have you ever had Henry Weinhardt's root beer? It's phenomenal stuff.
I have actually not.
It's good. It's good. I saw your mayo chup at the store today. You see my text?
No, I didn't. I've been on my laptop. My wife.
Listen. Let me tell you something. I got to tell you this. This is your fault. First of all, this is your fault. Here's what they had at the store today. They had buffalo and ranch. They called it Buffa Ranch.
Okay.
They had mayo chup, which is mayonnaise and ketchup. They had cranch, which I don't even know what it is.
Cranch.
What is this? What is even in this? I got to figure it out. And then they have honey racha.
Honey racha. My wife would probably like that.
Sriracha and honey mustard, I think.
Wow.
I got to show you this one. Heinz Cranch. I don't know what that is, but I blame you for it. It's ridiculous stuff. All right next to each other at the supermarket today.
Hey, man. I had mayo chup on my burger today. So, shout out mayo chup. Shout out Heinz. Yeah, man. So I think there's a question. Isn't Kobe like 3 years removed from high school? So what was it? 2018 was the draft, or 2000? I can't remember. 2018?
19?
2019, 20, 21. Maybe 4?
Let's see. Wendell was 18, 2018. I think Kobe was 2019.
Okay.
Pat was 2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, no, I think maybe one more year.
Yeah, I think it might be 4.
Yeah. But still, though, I mean, if you go look at his games, I think 69 games was his highest, and then it was 65 games the second year, and then last season. So he's still working on trying to get a full season, and so
he's got time.
Yeah.
And if he keeps going the way he's going right now, he's going to be a really useful part of our team. So, all right, let's get to this next clip here. We got Tyler Cook, a little dribble handoff to Kobe, comes off the screen.
Oh, I love this.
Screen's left. Kobe, I love this pass. This pass made me say, whoa, in real life.
Mm-hmm.
He made this. So he comes off this pass. He dives. He goes right under the basket. And right as he's going under the basket, looks like he's about to take a layup. He kind of like takes a step like he's going to rise. And he throws a left-handed just sidewinder to the left corner where Matt Thomas is. Matt Thomas gets the hard closeout, takes a step forward, and makes that little pull-up jumper.
Wish he would have made some of those tonight.
Hey, you know what? It's easier to talk about it in OW.
You're right, brother. You're totally right.
What are you talking about? But look at this. You slowed this play down with Kobe. I love this play. Like, he did not make that read. Look at this. Because I thought he was going Troy Brown Jr. in the corner here.
Yeah.
And so did the defender.
Yep. Reading him. It's good stuff, man.
But that's a hard pass to make. And he hit him right in the shooting pocket.
And didn't he have surgery on his left shoulder, right?
On his left shoulder. He threw that with his left arm.
Yeah, that's something, man. That's something.
I love that pass.
Growth.
Anyways, that pass was like, I've never seen Kobe make that pass before. But Kobe growth. Looks like he's made that pass 1,000 times.
Seriously, that's growth, man. That's what you want to see.
Yeah. All right, I think I got one or two more here. Okay, Kobe catches it.
Oh my God!
There it goes. There it goes. His decision making at the rim and in the paint has been so much better. So he catches the ball on the right wing. He kind of takes advantage of a closeout. He dives in, draws two defenders, comes around Capella to hit. Comes right around Capella to hit Tyler Cook for a wide open dunk. I mean, a little quick drop off pass. Anyways, that was good stuff.
Yes.
All right. The last play was against the Pacers. Another one. Kobe gets all the way into the paint, draws three guys, turns around, throws a pass out to Vooch. Splash. Vooch is wide open from that left wing. So these are passes he was not making last year.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Skylar Mays is a rotational player in the NBA?
I don't know. To be honest, I didn't know who Skylar Mays was before this week.
The reason why I say is because, like, those are the type of caliber players. I mean, Skylar Mays is probably a 9th, 10th guy.
Yeah.
But, like, that's the kind of level caliber player that he's going to be going against. Maybe a little bit higher, depending on, some coach wants to put a good defender on him in the second unit, but like those are the type of players he's going to be going against. So just seeing him attack off the dribble and that's good stuff, man. I mean, I'm just excited to see Kobe when we're full strength. Now he's got his rhythm. He's feeling himself. He knows what he needs to do. This team full strength. I can't wait. I really can't.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. I mean, I've been impressed with Kobe. As I said, I think he's further along than I thought he was. That I thought he would be at this point in the season. Which is a credit to him.
Yeah,
credit to him and the Bulls, and I've been impressed that Billy and now Chris Fleming have put him in positions to play through his mistakes, and he's found success, and he's found it kind of a niche so far in the team. So it's been really good. So I want to transition to a person who I think a lot of people think is in competition with Kobe for a spot. And that's Ayo Dosunmu.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to talk about his finishing. I could not find this quote, but there was a post game or some sort of media session where Ayo was talking about how he'd been watching Zach and the way Zach makes layups, like his form on layups. If you watch Zach LaVine, I had a clip. I sent out a clip of this early on in the season, but basically, when Zach LaVine makes a layup or goes for a layup, he gets a lot of elevation on his jump, so he gets high. He puts his arm out really far, and he throws it real high. He gets it real high off the glass, and it makes it really, really difficult for even the tallest guys to block his shot. He rarely gets his shot blocked because of that form. And if you remember, early on in the season, was looking like Kobe of last year, just getting everything at the rim was getting blocked or stopped, right? It just he didn't have, I don't know, he didn't have that form down, or the speed of the game. You know, he hadn't caught up to the speed of the game yet, or something like that. So, but I remember him making a comment specifically about Zach LaVine's form and how he wanted to emulate that form. And basically, since the beginning of the season to now, his rim finishing has gone up pretty consistently. You know, every couple of weeks, every couple of games. So I know I asked you to look at some clips, see if you could find any clips of some of his rim finishing. Now he's had a bunch of run outs where he gets an easy layup in transition, but I thought his work off the glass has been really, really good this season.
Yeah,
so I don't know. Have you thought the same?
Yeah, no, I have, man. Just from these clips, I think I got. Because I thought about in my head obviously in my head, but I thought that I know how we can get with clips, right? We can spend a lot of time on just one clip, So yeah. I think I got about 3 clips of Io finishing, because I know that we can really go. We can go long, so I knew we wanted to get to a couple other people.
That's all right. This Hoops After Dark, baby. We're here.
So I got a clip, 3, I should say. And what I like, what I've seen and from watching Io is there are a couple of things, and it's something I noticed as well, like you said about with Zach LaVine, because honestly I don't remember him saying that. I gotta look and find that. That's really cool, but like I said, really throwing the ball off the glass pretty high, getting that ball high off the glass, and using his wingspan. A lot of people like alligator arm their layups. They just quick layup. But like if you have the wingspan that Io has, it's really good to one, throw off timing of a shot blocker with your footwork, or doing something that is for instance, if I'm a shot blocker, if I'm Rudy Gobert, and I like to time your feet. A lot of times, like really good shot blockers, they don't look at the ball. They don't look at the upper body. They look at your feet, because they can time when they have to jump by looking at your feet. So if you look at guys like Kyrie Irving, is really, really known for it, is like wrong foot layups or same foot layups, where it's like if a shot blocker is looking, he's gonna say, okay, that's his right foot. I'm waiting for that left foot. Next thing you know, they're up. Like it's too late. You're like, oh shoot, like he got me. And sometimes what some players will do is like they'll instead of looking at the basket, which it's a key for a shot blocker, they'll look at the ground, and then they'll look back up. Like just finding different ways to throw off timing of shot blockers. And I thought that I saw some things of Io, like for instance this one where he does a really good job. He's got the ball in the right kind of slot area, right between the top of the key and the wing here. And he does a good job of really crossing that ball over and beating Bogey off the dribble, Bogdanovich from the Hawks. And what I want to take a look at here is when he gets into the paint, right? So you look at his feet, he gets up, and if you look at the extension, right, that's something that he's been doing really well too, is getting that extension, again, where that ball landed off the glass here. Just take a look at where the ball goes off the glass. Look how high that ball is.
This is amazing that you picked this clip. This is the exact clip I was thinking of.
Hey.
When we were talking about what we wanted to talk about here. Mm-hmm. This clip, because I love, you look at how high it is off glass. It's at the top of that square.
Yeah. Earlier in the season, he'd probably thrown the ball off about right here. right in the middle of the glass. And then, like, I don't want to go off on a super tangent, but I have a cousin, Mario Golden. He got a tryout for the Phoenix Suns back when Steve Nash, Joe Johnson, Quentin Richardson, Stephen Hunter, those Phoenix Suns. And he didn't make it, but he was competing for the backup position. He was competing with Jeff McGinnis. And to this day, I remember I was asking him questions, you know me, we're the same. Like, I want to know, like, the cool stories, like, what was it like? You know what I mean? And he was telling me, like, from college when he played, and when he played in high school, he was so used to being able to beat guys at the 3-point line, and you could do whatever he wanted at the glass. Even if a guy was at the free throw line, it didn't matter. If he was that athletic where he can just, get to the rim and finish. Well, he was telling me that he ended up playing. He was ahead in the competition, so he ended up getting second team looks. So it was first team versus second team, obviously. And Stephen Hunter was the center on the starting squad. And he said that he had beat, I can't remember who it was he said. I can't remember who it was he said, but he had beat somebody off the dribble. And he had looked back real quick to see, and Stephen Hunter was at the free throw line at the elbow. He put the ball off the glass. Stephen Hunter wiped it off the glass. And he was like, that is when I knew that this was a different level. Like, the fact that a guy can be at the free throw line and I'm literally at the basket can still get to my layup. Like, that and that's the thing. It's like, with Io, I know that was something like I believe at the beginning of the year, I believe it was against the Celtics when he had hit some big time threes. I said, like, that's the biggest thing for Io is the shooting. If he can get to 35%, 30, somewhere around there in that number, that'll be great for him, because then he'll start getting those hard, aggressive closeouts. Right now, guys can kind of short close out and not have to worry too much. And that makes it a little bit harder for him to attack off the dribble and use his speed that he has. There's different type of dribble combinations you can do to kind of help with short closeouts. But if you haven't had that type of training, that stuff you got to kind of work on in the summer once you figure out how teams are going to play you. And so right now, if he's going to get short closeouts, he's got to work on the shot. The finishing is something I always said. It's like if you play against better competition, you go to different open gyms and it's dudes that play D1, D2, first couple, maybe a week or two, you're like, man, I can't get to the rim like I used to. Or if you get to the rim, man, I beat my stuff with glass. After a while, you're going to start picking up on, okay, I know, the different types of athleticism guys have. You know when to pick a battle. If a dude's 6'10" with a long wingspan, he might block it. So let me kind of probe it. But if it's a guy that's 6'4" that's athletic, but if I kind of get the ball up quick, or if I get it high off the glass, I'll be able to finish it high. So, like, being just playing at this level and getting used to the different types of athletes on the floor, your finishing is going to get better. I mean, Io was a pretty good finisher in college. So, like, it's just about getting used to the different athleticism in the league and then adding some things to your bag. Like you said about him talking to Zach and adding that to his bag. And there you go. He's starting to get the ball high off the glass. But again, for him to really be able to even sniff ever being a starter, he has to get a 3-ball or get a respectable number there somehow. But yeah, no, the finishing. No, you're right, man. Like, I'm actually glad you were like, let's talk about Io's finishing, because that is something that was very noticeable, especially when that tweet came out about what he is at the rim. And I mean, I think right now he's at 62%. I don't know about after tonight, but 62% at the rim. League average is 57.8%. So I mean, he's doing his thing, man, at the rim. Yeah.
Hey, he's also shooting 40% from three.
Hey, well, tonight he had a couple air balls.
Yeah, well.
No, you're right.
I ain't worried about that.
I honestly, it's like, it's just more consistency. Like, yeah, he's 40%, but it's on a lower. Just like in college, he shot pretty well in college, but he only, I think, all the year, I think only had 85 attempts. So it's like he's got to get him up. Yeah. So as long as he's getting them up, that's the good thing. Let's see, next one. Okay, let me see this. Let me see my remember here. All right, so Io's gonna get, what was this? Coming up, so we get kind of like a double drag, double ball screen here. He's going to get Tyler Cook's going to roll. He's going to roll hard, which is going to make Miles Turner have to worry about the roll. It gives him more space to work. Duarte is still behind the player. But oh, wait, let me go. That's exactly what I want to talk about here. So if you just watch Io's face, like he looks at the floor for a second. And like, again, little stuff like that throws off a shot blocker's timing. Right? Like, why is this dude looking at the floor? You know, look, boom, and then he explodes. And by that time, it's too late for Miles Turner. Right? And also, again, the extension. Io's 6'4" with a 6'10" wingspan. So his hand extends pretty well. Boom. Even that one, like it's still a little bit inside the square, but it was just at the corner, which is fine. You know, obviously you want it a little bit higher, but that high is fine. Let me see if I can get it right. Yeah, so about right there. That's still good. That's still good.
Yeah.
High off glass. And once again, as you can see, getting into his right hand is what he wants to go. He wants to get to his right hand. Once again, that's his favorite little crossover right here.
Denzel.
Oh my, you know what I did? That's hilarious. But yeah, no, he set him up with the crossover again. Beats Denzel. And then here we go. Look where he takes off from. That's the other thing too. You can change your launch points. All right. So the last couple of clips, he was taking off a little bit later. Look, like he's gathering almost by the dot here. Mm-hmm. The dot, extension, away. Right. So when you do that, you can kind of shield. Oh, my bad. You kind of when you jump from that far, you can still kind of shield off the defender, and then you don't have to extend as much. As long as you can shield off that defender to take away their wingspan from blocking your shot, you'll be okay. Let me see if I can get it right at the spot. Here we go. Boom. So, I had it. Right. So he's got a shoulder in here. There's no, and you can tell he has a little smaller wingspan. I think this is Dean Wade. But he gets into his chest here, and he doesn't have to extend that much. You know, you get into his chest, he's not going to be able to get over here and get to the ball. But as long as you keep that shoulder in your chest and you extend that ball, you're all good. And it's just that type of stuff too. And again, like NBA teams they're gonna scout, they're gonna see, okay, he likes to drive right, he wants to get to his right hand. But as long as he can keep those little tricks in his bag, where keeping the shoulder in the defender's chest, changing your launch point, extension, getting the ball high off the glass, different types of things to throw off timing of the shot blocker, all those things, they're going to come with time. And again, that same thing with Kobe, same thing with every rookie. When you come in, like, I mean, unless you're LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Shaq, the great of the greats, like when you come in, you just dominate right away. It's different. But if you're a rookie coming in, maybe you're not top lotto, maybe you're mid lotto, a little bit towards the end. You come in, you see how teams are going to play you. You go into the next summer, you have film, and now you can work on the things that can make you a better player in the next season.
Totally agree. And for Io, he's a rookie. Like I'm so impressed at the way that he has improved and slowed the game down for himself. And you mentioned the 3-ball, right? And we thought, hey, he's going to have to be able to shoot from that corner pretty consistently if he wants to get minutes, and he's going to have to be a good defender. Now, he's done both of those things. He's not taking high volume from 3, but he's added those layups to his game, and that's allowed him to kind of get into a rhythm and get some easy points. And also, I mean, I think it was who mentioned? Oh, yeah, MG Blazer mentioned that one you showed. We were up 98-92 on the Hawks.
Yeah.
And he had that first really nice layup off the glass. I mean, that was in a crunch time moment, key moment in the game. He's had a few of those where he's had really timely buckets. And so if he can add that to his game with consistency, which he has so far done early in the season, that's going to help him develop further and keep his spot on the floor.
Yeah, no, that's one thing about Io that you got to love is that dude is a gamer. He's not afraid of the moment. I mean, we're watching the Hawks game. He scores a layup, and instead of going, maybe to the free throw line or something, he's right at the baseline waiting for Trey to cross the baseline. So he whatever you ask of him, he's going to try to do it to the best of his ability. Yeah, and that's what I love about the dude, man.
So one thing I'll say is that both he and Kobe have a resilience to them
Yes.
Their mentality, they're next play kind of guys, and it's something that has served them very, very well so far. Because you're going to have a lot of ups and downs, and someone like Kobe, who's just kind of been thrown all over the place early on in his career, that resiliency has been a really, really big help to him, and allowed him to bounce back from a lot of these things. Let's see. All right, you want to talk about some Troy Brown Jr., and then we'll talk about this game winner last night.
Sounds good to me, man. All right, let's see. Get to.
All right.
Oh, my bad. Here we go. All right, ready.
So you want to full screen this baby? Okay, so Troy Brown Jr. First of all, I just want to say, watch Vucevic in this entire clip.
Oh yes, I remember this play. I remember this.
I think they had ran a play or they had something else going on. Vooch keeps expecting Troy. Here's another IO layup. But it looked like Troy was going to hand it to Vooch. Vooch is like, hey. He like has his hands up the whole time. Are you going to give me the ball at some point? Like, what's going on here? But Troy gets that he just kind of bides his time here on the perimeter, watches Trae Young kind of stunt towards him, sees that Io's doing a little back cut. Troy just has a really, really good pass. He has good processing speed, and he has pinpoint passes, and it's an easy layup early in the game here. So, but I was cackling looking at Vooch this whole play. You see just keep watching Vooch. He's like, oh, all right, whatever, I guess.
TBJ's like, what, bro?
What? Yeah. Yeah, just like, what? I got the ball. I got this. I got this.
See, I told you.
Yeah. Anyways,
oh, man.
Good stuff. So here's another one. Troy Brown Jr. Yeah, comes up here.
Oh my!
I love this. I love this play.
That was nice.
Big Troy does it. Look, no look pass. Just a little shovel pass. No look pass to is Tyler Cook. He just kind of takes advantage of the confusion because it was almost a turnover. Half the Hawks were starting to run into transition, but Troy gets it. Drives towards the rim, and you think he's looking right at, I think it was Kobe or someone in the other corner. Who's in this other corner here?
I think it was Io. Yep.
Oh, Io. So Io's right in the basket, and so there's so many guys in the Hawks that are on 10 days. I couldn't tell you all of them, but 45s. I think it's Hill. Maybe?
Oliver. This is Cameron Oliver, Shawnee Brown, Malcolm Hill.
Okay, there's
Trey, and I think Lance.
So it's Shawnee Brown and Oliver. Both look towards Io, and that little half second where Troy's looking right at Io, that's a nice pass. Not a lot of guys can make that pass, not with that kind of precision. So I just thought that was a really, really nice pass.
Yeah,
Troy. He just does a lot of little things. He's spending 15 minutes on the floor, but he's making a lot of passes. So here he comes. He pokes it from Cam Reddish, but now there's a replay. I didn't get the replay, but this pass, he's just a little push. He pushes like a volleyball. He like sets it like a volleyball.
Yeah.
Boom. And that just the fact that he didn't take time to grab the ball and then pass it, like a little push pass. He just flicks it with his hand, and that timing allowed Kobe just enough time to get around and get a basket over Mays.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I thought that was really good too. Like you could just tell that Troy gets it.
Yeah.
In playmaking, he knows what to do, and he knows how to take advantage of those little moments.
Yep.
So here's another one. Troy Brown Jr. I think gets it away from. Here we go. This isn't. Look at this. All right, so Trey tries to lob it into Capella. Vooch taps it out. Troy gets it, and now pause it right as Troy gets this ball.
Okay.
If you could. So Vooch taps it. Boom. He catches it. Io's already on the way. He is backwards. He throws it behind his head. Pinpoint right in front of Io in stride for a free Io dunk. I think he just lays it up actually. But let's see.
Oh my goodness!
No, he does dunk it. But just the processing speed is really, really good.
Also, real quick to go along with this clip, on the opposite side, can we just take a look at Kobe? Right. So obviously it's going to be a tough pass because Vooch is here anyway. But like, first of all, Vooch doing a good job, but Kobe being where he's supposed to be. And
yes,
this is like when I was tweeting like, oh, Kobe's doing a good job being a low man. Like this is not one thing. He was doing this the whole game. When he was as the low man, he was always making that rotation and being there. And I just thought like little stuff like that lets me know that Kobe's here. He's in the game. He's not worried about the shoulder. He's not worried about missing shots. He's not worried about the next play. He's in the play and he's just playing hard, man. And I just love that, man. I love it. He held it long enough to where Vooch could get it. I love it. Just good stuff.
Yeah, 100%. And Kobe's actually done a really good job as low man. I've noticed that, and I've got a couple clips from Pacers game on that actually. Okay, so here we go. Another one. Trae Young is making a out of bounds pass. Troy gets it, and just I mean, that one's not that impressive, but it's always fun to see Trae turn it over.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
And there's another one for McClung. Matt McClung's first bucket.
Some people dislike McClung.
I don't care enough about it, but
yeah, exactly. Me either.
Anyways, but Troy's just doing the little things here.
Yeah.
Those first three clips I thought were just so impressive of what he's been doing. So yeah, and his defense has been really good. His on-ball defense is really good. His off-ball defense has been hit and miss, I would say.
Yeah.
I have to go back and look, but I think it's gotten better, although it's a little harder to tell because we've got like half of our best defenders out right now, or all of our best defenders are out right now. But Troy's been holding it down, and he's making good passes, making good decisions. I think he got like 4 minutes on the Pacers game. He took one mid-range shot, and then he never played again the rest of the game. He missed the mid-ranger, which wasn't a terrible shot. It was an open jumper, and he missed it. But when he gets time on the floor, he's produced. So
yeah,
I've been pretty impressed with him.
No doubt about that, man. I like the guys that have came in, and I'll be honest, man. I'm just not the biggest Matt Thomas guy. I'm just not. Like tonight, when his shot's not falling, they literally
why is he out there?
They were going at him on the other side.
Yeah.
Like
they
were whenever Matt Thomas was on the floor, that was who they were attacking. And for the most part, good things happened. And he's got to hit, if he's going to be out, and I don't mean this in any way, but like if he's going to be out there, he has to make his open looks. There was a play, he shot it, he missed it. We got a rebound, we kick it back to him, and he was open, and he missed it again. I'm like, dude, if you're going to be a dead eye shooter, you got to be dead eye, man. You got to knock these down.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hey, and he's trying on defense. He just doesn't. He's just not. Yeah. he's just not there.
Right.
He's trying. Like you can tell, he's working as hard as he can on defense. So like nothing against him, but teams were attacking him, and because of his size and his lack of speed, he was getting attacked. So
yeah.
I agree, which is why I thought they should have kept Stanley Johnson in the first place, and why I was surprised they cut Alize Johnson instead of him. But he made a few shots against the Pacers. Yeah. So as long as we're winning, I don't care that much.
No, I agree.
But I think by the trade deadline, I think that has to change. I think that spot's got to be used in another way. But that's just my opinion on it.
I think that once that time comes around, I think the Bulls have gotten to that point where players are going to be bought out. They're going to want to be a part of this.
Yeah, they're going to look for the Bulls.
So
come on down, baby.
Right, come on down.
What you got?
Come on down.
About freaking time that the third largest, market in the entire NBA is attracting free agents.
Yeah,
about freaking time. All right,
I want to hear from?
Yeah,
I want to hear from AK, man. I want him to. You know how like he was I feel like he was a little bit more talkative last season, if you will. But I would love to have him have a press conference. I just want to hear. I want to hear him talk about his team. I don't know.
You want to do that walkout like the WWE walkout, kind of like
Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Oh man, just
you like what you see,
right?
You like that? Who is that?
Just talk that talk.
Kurt? Who's a football player? I was like, you like that? You like that? Cousins?
Cousins. There it is. Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
That should be AK's walking out. That's his first statement. You like that?
You didn't like the DeMar signing? How about now?
Yeah. So if we go to my last set of clips here.
Yep.
I think you got them up already.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. So here is crunch time. Let's see. I can't tell what time is left in the game here.
Minute and 50, I think.
Oh, yes. Here we go. Is this the game-saving play here? Oh, no. So watch Kobe on this play.
Let me start over
because we were getting absolutely destroyed on the boards last night.
This is Kobe right here. Here we go.
He tries to box out DeMontis.
Go back. Yeah.
And he doesn't box him out, but he just gets in his way just enough to tap that ball out of his hand.
Yep.
Which would have been a layup, or he would have gotten fouled or something. So I just thought that little thing was important.
Can I say something that's super goofy?
Yes, sir.
When I saw this game, because I was at work when this game was going on. When I saw this game and I saw that Zach had a tough game, I looked at his leg. I'm like, that's it.
He doesn't have a sleeve.
My boy don't have his sleeves on. He was out there feeling different. And then tonight got his sleeves back on. 35. I don't know, man. I'm just speaking. That's all. I'm just saying.
Maybe there's something to it. Let's see.
Oof.
Oh, okay. This is when Zach gets hammered down low 4 times. Doesn't get it. And then DeMar ends up making this shot. Now watch Zach and watch Io. Zach starts chirping at the refs. And Io says, hey, get back on defense.
I love that, man. I love that a rookie has that. It's set, usually rookies that ain't my problem. Yeah. But he's like, no, Zach, let's go.
Now he does this twice. Now watch this play. This is the game-winning play right before DeMar hits his shot. So if you go back to it, it starts all of a sudden because the camera was unfortunately not where it's supposed to be. Okay, so stop it. See, first of all, DeMar tips that inbounds play. That's why Karis LeVert didn't get a lob dunk right there. So DeMar had this game-saving basket or game-saving tip. If you can, I don't know if you can just go back to 22 seconds or just a little bit before, you can see that DeMar taps this ball. He's jumping right now. Can you? Yeah.
All right, let me go back here.
Here we go. Now watch DeMar tips this. So, and then I think Io tips it off the glass right after that. That's DeMar hitting that ball. DeMar hits that ball. So Karis, who would have had a dunk, doesn't get it. Watch Kobe. Now watch Kobe, who's right here at the. Kobe gets that rebound, dives on the floor, gets it to DeMar. That saved the game right there, and allows for this ridiculous shot. Just an absolutely ridiculous shot that wins in the game.
Dude.
And I said on Twitter, it's the worst shot I've ever seen in my life. I was joking. Some person's like, really? It's literally the worst shot you've... Shut up, dude. Just let me just speak, all right? I just said it was crazy, ridiculous shot that somehow went in, and then he did it again tonight. But yeah, Kobe White just preventing those rebounds was really important. I think there was one more play. Maybe I didn't give it to you. It was a play when the ball It was the play right before that. So they had like 0.7 seconds. That's why they threw that lob. They had 0.7 seconds. The reason they had 0.7 seconds was DeMar had actually intercepted a pass, and it started going out of bounds, and he threw it off Torrey Craig's leg. And the refs called it the other way. They said it was Pacers' ball, even though it went off Torrey Craig's leg. And DeMar, who already had a tech for arguing with the refs, immediately starts to go to the ref's face, and Io gets right in front of him, turns him around, pushes them the other way. And so both Zach and DeMar in crunch time were deflected or dissuaded by Io from getting techs and get back into the play kind of stuff. And it ended up, I think, being really, really crucial to them winning that game. So anyways, just little stuff that you don't expect from rookies.
I think,
but I thought Kobe and Io both did a really good job there of saving that game.
That to me is like, when you see stuff like that from a rookie, that also shows like the type of atmosphere that the team has, that a rookie feels comfortable enough to step into a veteran's. I mean, DeMar DeRozan, 4-time All-Star, gold medalist, just big name, in the league, and he has the confidence to be like, hey, let me go talk to Big Bro and tell him to hey man, let's go. We gotta stay locked in. That says a lot about the team, that guys they feel comfortable to do that, because there are certain teams where it's like, rookie, stay out of my way, or rookie, you're a rookie. Like the fact that those guys, you can see it every time dudes hit big time shots. Like, this team loves to play with this team. So. Yeah. And I thought it was funny. I don't know if you noticed it, but the fact that Jordan Bell was just like, it's like he just got with the team, and he's like, I don't know, it was hilarious.
He was hype. He got the game ball. He like caught the ball and was like trying to give it to DeMar tonight.
Yeah,
he's like, hey bro, this is your game ball. Like, yeah, it's pretty funny. Hey, shout out to Jordan Bell. I hope he gets some minutes here. You should get some minutes on Monday.
Yeah.
But we'll see. And it'd be nice to have Lonzo Ball back.
Yep. Monday, right?
Lonzo Ball back. Yeah.
Oh, and Monday, not Sunday.
On Monday. Yeah. I hope they don't play. I wonder if they ever played back-to-back games, like 3 in a row. I hope not. Yeah.
I can't believe, man, that they. I mean, I guess I can, but like the fact that they're winning these ball games without their engines on the defensive side of the ball, and a guy like Lonzo that helps get things going in transition. The man, that says a lot about this team, man. It makes me giddy.
Yeah, well, I think we've always known that this team has an incredible amount of firepower, of star firepower. But what we didn't want them to do was get into shootouts with other teams, because we were worried more about the defense, and it's just, shootouts are just not usually a good idea. And obviously, the last 2 games haven't worked out very well. It just happened to have DeMar hitting ridiculous. And we should have lost both of those games. Like, there's no way we should have won either of those games. We got outplayed the entire game by the other team. But they just kept fighting. And, I mean, the defense wasn't good. I mean, I think the Pacers game, that one bothered me a lot, because I just felt like there wasn't a lot of effort by the Stars. It just felt like it was lack of effort. That was the reason that they weren't crushing them, because they should have been up 20 for most of that game. I thought the role players played really hard, but I didn't think the Stars did. And maybe it's just because it wasn't going their way with shots and stuff. But you're right. Like, it shows a lot about this team that they're still pulling out those W's, even when they have a tough night, even when they're missing their best defenders. As I mentioned, last couple of weeks, they've been one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA, but their offense has been number 1. So they realize we don't have it defensively right now. So we're just gonna have to lean on our guys to get buckets, and they have got buckets.
That's a luxury, man. That's a luxury where your defense is just not up to snuff, and so you got to be like, hey, you know what? Hey Zach, go get us a bucket. Hey DeMar, go get us a bucket. Vooch, come on, baby, go get us a bucket. You know what I mean? Like. I mean, just the fact of, like, if you look at tonight, and even with Trey on the Hawks, if you have one player that can consistently, get downhill and get teams in a rotation, you can still do some things. And I mean,
hey man,
Yeah.
Trae Young and any four of anyone watching this, including me and you, could probably have a decent offensive rating in the NBA. I mean, me and you just spotting up for three with Trae Young breaking down defense and kicking out. Probably not a bad offense. I'm just saying. I mean, Trae Young is that good.
Yeah, he's that good, man. He's that good.
But you're right.
Brad Beal, what do you have? 17 assists tonight? Something like that?
I think 16 or 17 he ended up with, which is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see what he had. Yeah, I think he had 17. 17, 27 and 17.
Yeah.
Crazy. Hey, Daniel Gafford went 9 of 10. I think they were all dunks.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, people were like, oh, Gafford, da, da, da. It's like, dude, they're not running plays for Gafford. They're like, Gafford is getting points off broken plays. Like, so, and like, I commend him. Like, but like, I'm not about to get all giddy over, an air ball coming right to him or something.
Yeah. Well, two of his dunks came off of one where Tyler Cook was injured.
Mm-hmm.
He got injured, and so Daniel Gafford had a free dunk.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one was Derrick Jones Jr. got kicked in the face by Gafford.
Yep.
And then Gafford stood up and dunked it again. Hey, I mean, Gafford's having a great time, and I think he's a good fit. But there was a poll out today by someone asking, hey, do you regret basically the Gafford trade? Would you rather have Troy Brown Jr. and Javonte Green or Daniel Gafford? So I was curious what you thought about that.
So would I rather have Troy Brown Jr., Javonte Green, or Daniel Gafford?
Yeah. Would you have made that trade, knowing what you know today? Because I think it's closer than people think. I think Daniel Gafford's a better player than either of those two.
Yeah.
And I think Gafford would be a really good bench big.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's like a clear mistake. Like, I mean, Javonte's been really, really good. And Gafford got paid. He's getting paid like $15 million. I wouldn't want to pay him $15 million. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you look at tonight, man, there was a point towards the end of the game they had to take him off the floor because they just needed guys that could switch and guys that could get back to Vooch. And he was just having some trouble being able to drop and also get back to Vooch. So they had to take him off the floor. So, I mean, there are still some limitations to Daniel Gafford. Like, yes, he blocks shots. He's gotten better at rebounding. But
he was destroying Vooch on the boards tonight. I'll say that because he struggled a lot more with rebounding in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
But he was taking Vooch to task tonight. But he's a young player. He's going to continue to get better. So I'm sure he'll be worth that contract. I mean, he's already a pretty decent starter, I would say, for the Wizards. So nothing against him. I thought it's interesting with our situation now. Like, do we regret making that trade? And I would say maybe, but I'm not like 100% sold on it at this point.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
I think it depends. Is Billy going to still try to ask him to be a short role playmaker?
Yeah, that did not work.
Is he going to be they're going to try to make him be what they were trying to, Now, if he had a playmaker like DeMar DeRozan, I mean, maybe.
Or Lonzo.
Right, or Lonzo. Lonzo and him as in pick and roll. That'd be fun. I would love to see Lonzo with just a springy. He has DJJ, but I mean a guy like that Daniel Gafford, that's a big dude that still has the springs. I'd like to see that, but it depends. Like we both know, like role matters a lot. What they're asking him to do in Washington is not what they're asking DJJ and Vooch and Tony Bradley Jr. Tony Bradley, I always mess up. But
I think he is a junior, actually.
He is, but like we talked about it, and you're like, we kind of stay away from TJ. But no, like what they're asking to do, dribble handoff partners, slipping screens and asking them to find where the help is or get all the way to the basket. I don't know. I trust him to take a couple dribbles and make a decision. I don't know. But like role matters, and he's gotten to a place where they know how to use him. They know the way they want to use him, and he likes the way he's used. So I mean, more power to him, man. He's taking advantage of his his role there. So
yeah, no, it was fun to see him doing well, and he got some good rebounds, good dunks.
Yeah.
the Gafford revenge game tonight. Troy Brown Jr. played 30 minutes actually.
Yeah.
And his revenge game was 2 points, 6 rebounds, and an assist. But I don't know, like it was weird. Okay, I do want to say it was like almost the end of the third quarter, and only 4 Bulls had scored at that point. It was only Zach, DeMar, Vooch, and Kobe, the only guys that had any points on the board, which is wild to me. And then Dosunmu ended up with 4, Troy Brown Jr. ended up with 2, Derek Jones ended up with 9. And every other point was scored by, the other 4 guys. So that there's no way we should have won that game tonight. Zero reason. We should have lost that game. I cannot believe we won.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, what can you say? Hey, I commend the Bulls for getting that dub, man. Get that dub and see what happens. But I think Ferg just said that with this team, I like Gafford as the backup to Vooch.
Yeah, no, I think he'd fit well in that role. As you mentioned, if you're not having him do short roll stuff, if he's just running pick and roll as the roll man and setting screens and blocking shots, yeah, I think that role fits him because that plays to his strengths. I think what he was asked to do on the Bulls last year did not play to his strengths at all.
Yeah,
and that's partly on his limitations as a player, but that's partly on the coaching staff for trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, or I can't remember how that stupid phrase goes, but
no, I know what you mean.
He's in the right role for him,
yeah.
And I mean he's doing good, so I'm happy for him. But I don't know. I don't think it's some like great tragedy that we don't have him. Just like I don't think it's a great tragedy that we don't have Wendell Carter, and I liked Wendell Carter a lot, and I think he's going to be a great player. And I think Franz Wagner, has like rookie of the year potential right now. He's killing it.
Yeah,
and I'd love to have both those guys on this team. But also, what Vooch is providing is really important to this team too. So,
yeah, man, Franz. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So, did you have any other clips on the team? I think we ran through the gamut actually.
Let me see in my bag of,
because we're at 2 hours now, which I am impressed. I thought we'd go longer.
You say you thought we'd go longer?
I thought we'd go longer.
Let's see.
Or any other comments from about tonight's game? I mean, that's just I couldn't watch, man. It was too chaotic. I couldn't watch Kuzma have any more layups and ones. I was like, I think I'm done watching Kuzma have and ones tonight.
So I got one. I wanted to go back to tonight.
Sure.
So with this set here, we got Io guarding the ball, who's Bradley Beal. Got Avdia going to set a screen, and I believe this turned into a stagger. And KCP is going to come off. He comes off the stagger into a ghost, gets out of there, takes TBJ, and then it sets up Gafford to set a step-up ball screen onto Io. And this is what I love about Io, man. He gets hit a little bit, but again, try to put him in jail. He's like, nope. And just look at this arm. Look at that. Like, I mean, he does a really good job of really using his wingspan. Like, using that wingspan to kind of clog things up here. And he gets up there, and oh my gosh, man. Like,
that block. And then he hits Gafford with it too.
Right? They block it. Gafford comes. And he's, I probably should have finished this, but like the fact that he still competed, like that's what you love about the Rook, man. He still competed, get a stop, we're going the other way.
And this is why I don't want Kobe on point of attack, because Kobe's arms are a lot shorter. It's like 6 or 7 inches shorter than Io. And you see Io's arms, he's like Gumby, out there on
You're not wrong, man.
Brad Beal. Io's got the size for it.
So I picked this clip because we've talked about, well, at least for me, I talked about it. I didn't talk about this much in the article. if at all, and a negative to Vooch, right? And when teams that have or that are going to have good ball handlers and a good screener, or like for instance the Nets, right? If they want to use KD as a small ball five in some game or something like that, they can run a pick and pop with James Harden or Kyrie and KD, and it will put Vooch in a situation. And I thought tonight they could have did this more, but tonight they ran an empty side action here, and Vooch is in drop position. They have no problem with trying to push this ball handler down to the baseline. But this is where the limitation comes for Vooch is he's good laterally, like if he's at the level, but like when he's dropped and he's kind of sliding down baseline and asking him to get back out to a shooter, that's tough. And I think that's going to be something that teams will do more often once we get to the playoffs. And we'll have to see how that looks. So what happens is, which I thought was a really good idea by the Wizards, is so if you stay where you're lined now, Vooch can stay here, DeMar can come slide over, and then these guys can just rotate on the back end. But what they do a really good job of is they send KCP on a dive cut here. So now that puts DeMar in a situation where he's like, oh, shoot. So he has to worry about the cut. But in my opinion, that, DJJ should say, hey, I got it, go to the ball, whatever. Maybe they didn't communicate. Maybe the cut him off guard. But the dive cut kind of puts DeMar in a situation. You got Vooch far away. So DeMar goes with the cut, and that leaves a wide open shooter. And if you're going to play against better teams like the Nets, Milwaukee, the Heat, like this is going to be a problem. If teams are probably going to do this at some point to see how long they can get away with it. But a simple adjustment is that just that communication on the backside. Maybe DJJ or whoever's at the wing can tell DeMar, hey, go get him, or whoever's in that situation. Tell him, hey, go get him. I got yours. Just communicate on the backside. That's got to be a little bit better to help out Vooch here in this situation. And I think a lot of teams are going to try to do that to Vooch a little bit more just to see if the Bulls will be better at it. But honestly, when Lonzo was there, I'm pretty sure Lonzo would have came here anyway. Like, he's just that smart of a defender. Lonzo's the type of guy that'd rather have two guys at the three-point line and give up a layup than give up three. So so that may not be a problem more so when Lonzo and Caruso are there, but I still think teams will still try that and see what it looks like. So that was something that I wanted to point out. We already went over Kobe, went over the pick and pop, went over this. Oh, so this was something, again, the horn set, right? They ran it a bunch in this game, right? So they got two guys up high, really, really close. This is what they call what they call this here is a ram screen action. So basically you're screening the screener. So it's not Spain. It's just kind of just to get some movement. You screen the screener. So it's ram action, comes up into horns. You get a ball screen, comes off. See, that's what I'm saying. They attacked Matt Thomas all the time. Every time Matt Thomas in the game, they attacked his side. Your number one job here is to stop the ball. You have to stop the ball. You're not going to probably make an NBA player pick up the ball, but you want to stop the ball, right? Make him stop his momentum, and then you get out of there. Or you communicate with each other and say, hey, I got him, you take mine. But what happens is Matt Thomas just kind of, because what you would like to do is have both Io and Matt Thomas on the ball. You got the low man coming, and the DeMar can play two back here. But if you're not going to stop the ball, it kind of creates some havoc here. But what I thought is this clip was a good job of the Bulls playing defensively. Really, Tyler here being on the lookout here. You can see he's already ready to rotate here. So he comes off. Good bounce pass by Bradley Beal. But I mean, Ty Cook's already there. He's as soon as he catches the ball, Ty Cook's there ready to contest. You could say, boom, kick it out to Kuzma. But I mean, the split second, that's tough. Unless you're like Luka, LeBron, or somebody.
Yeah, that's what we talked about, right?
Yeah.
It's if you can time it to where as they're catching the ball, you're in their face, it makes it so much harder to have the vision and the processing speed to get that ball out of there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
that timing's key.
I mean, just
I love
really
watching
good
Matt
stuff.
Thomas in this clip though. You're like, oh wait, help.
There was a game, what was it, maybe 2 or 3 games ago, where they set a screen on him. He got hit. He's trying to figure out where to go. So he got hit. He's like, oh, that guy's open. Nope, Io beats him there. So he tried to run to the middle of the court. Oh, that guy's open. Nope, Zach beat him there. So he was just kind of like, he's just kind of running around with his head cut off. He's like, shoot, man, I know I'm supposed to be somewhere. I just can't get there.
Amazing stuff.
But yeah, that's man. I don't know if I showed this one, but I can't remember.
Oh, the big Vooch block.
Yes, this is my boy, man. My boy Vooch.
I want to see it. I missed this
again. Once again, they run that same horn set. They ran this thing a bunch, and I can't blame them. They got some good looks off of it.
Question, because our friend Stefano said they were running double high.
Mm-hmm.
Is that another? And I'm unfamiliar with that.
So
what's that set look like?
You could call it. So people have different things. For me, like when I was playing ball, like our coach, when we ran horns, it can be either at the elbows or it can be high. But the key is having 2 bigs on opposite side. You call it double high because.
Okay, so it's the same set though.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Okay, I thought it was, but
it's
I
the alignment too, right?
You
got the 2 in the corner and then the 2 bigs here. So it's horns, or you can call it double high. It depends on like where you're from, who you got coached by, like different lingo in different places. So for me, this is kind of a horns action here. But so same thing. He goes to Kobe's side, and here's the deal once again, which is tough because KCP is a great shooter, but again, you just got to communicate. He doesn't really even show, but Zach does a really good job actually of getting over that screen and staying on his hip here. He's right there on his hip.
Yeah.
You got a show here from DJJ. He gets out of the way, kind of swipes at the ball, kicks to the corner, get a good rotation with DeMar. That's enough. DeMar is really trying on that end, man. Like he's trying more than I can ask from him. You know, like I can't even, be super mad at him, man. He's not doing any egregious like bad rotations or not fighting over screens. Like it may happen here and there, but like for the most part, like he's trying, and that's all I can ask for him. So he closes out hard. So he slips a little. Let's say he slipped a little bit on the closeout. But he gets there. He makes Anthony Gill have to put the ball on the ground, get by. He kicks it, and that's actually a good pass by Anthony Gill. But anyway, he drops it off to Denny. Right, Denny catches it, and Vooch just beats that thing off the backboard, and that was huge. I mean, they're up 1. They got a shot at the rim. Now we're off to the races. That was a huge block by Vooch, and there were some plays in this game where I'm like, man, Vooch, just put your arm up. But the fact that he, the moment, like he knew, like I can't let this shot, I can't, and he beats it off the glass like that. That's just all. I loved seeing that from him, man. Protecting the basket, and now we're off to the races. So I mean, like,
good stuff.
It's good stuff, like you said, man.
Listen, MG Blazer, I can't agree with this because I don't think I'll survive the year if we play games like we played the last 2 games, because my heart can't take it, man. Like these games have been brutal to watch until the buzzer beater. Like that's too high octane for me. I gotta have some nice easy blowout games. I need a nice blowout game or 2 this week to kind of set my temperature back down to the normal degree. I don't know about you guys, but you, Larro, and anyone listen to this, but I don't know if I can do this all the time. Like we got to get some easier wins here. I'm happy with the win, but holy crap, dude.
I love the games tonight. I love because it shows like the adversity, man. Adversity hits. So it's like, are you gonna respond, or what is it?
This team responds. They don't give up. They don't give up.
So,
I mean, yeah. Hey, Ferg's with me. I appreciate that. Yeah, his heart's pounding too.
To be honest, man, like this is so coach speak, but like the blowout wins are fun. They're fun. But like I don't think you really learn much from those games. Like these are the type of games as a team you learn from. Like what were they doing to us to make us have to be so perimeter oriented? Like why couldn't we get downhill? well, let's go watch the film. And these are the games you kind of learn stuff from. The games where we're beating tail. Those are scrap games. Guys, whatever we wanted to run, it was working, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
But tonight, man, like that defense that you saw tonight is that type of defense, that type of scheme, what they were looking to do. That's gonna be something we may see a lot. How the Bulls are gonna defend it against. So
yeah. Hey, shout out to Wes Unseld Jr. He's doing a great job as coach.
Yes.
For the Wizards. I was really hoping that we would hire him as a coach, actually, when we were in that process. But obviously, Billy's doing a great job, and I have no complaints there. But glad to see he got an opportunity, and he's doing really well with it. So,
yeah, man.
But that's all I've got. That's all I've got for tonight. But we had a lot of good film and just some good growth we're seeing from these guys. Not only from Vooch kind of getting his groove back, but Kobe, Ayo, Troy Brown, just improving. DeMar just being DeMar. And, man, I don't know where we'd be without DeMar DeRozan right now, but we certainly wouldn't be 24-10. Wouldn't be
24-10, man. Like that's tough, man.
It's crazy.
No, but Ferg, he said, you're right, but back to back. Yeah, no, I agree. But like, there was no like practice or anything in between those games. It's kind of like, you may be able to watch it, but on whatever they use, iPad or whatever they use to look at film. But when they're on the road, but if you don't have a practice in between to really practice against those different looks, like, I mean, for the most part, it might look the same. But now that they have that, and they'll be able to go home, have practice, maybe have some, maybe the G League team or whoever they have, like a scout team, almost like in football, you can run those different looks, and then you can kind of see it more often. But back-to-backs like that, you really don't have practice. You kind of just have like a shoot around when you get loose and shoot around a little bit. But yeah, so no, I feel what you're saying, honestly. But yeah.
I think that's going to do it for us this week, Bulls 101. Thanks for joining us. Thank you guys for the comments and your support and watching with us. It's been fun, just so much fun to watch this team. And I was saying on Twitter, a year ago, I decided I wanted to do more content creation, and I think, it's been a great decision. It's been such a blessing to be able to do this show with you, and hopefully we've helped other people, not just ourselves. Because I know we both enjoy it a lot. I hope someone else enjoys it. But I love breaking down film, and I don't think a lot of people that cover the Bulls do break down film at all, or talk about these kind of things. And so, hopefully we're bringing something unique to. There's a lot of Bulls podcasters out there, and they're all really, really good. So hopefully we're bringing something unique. And thanks for sticking with us. We will try and get some more film, some more guests coming on. We've had some really good guests over the last year, and we'll continue doing it. And what a fun team to cover! What an opportunity we get to cover this great team this year. It's just something special. It just feels like something special is happening. It's been really cool to watch.
Man,
hey, thanks, Ferg. I appreciate that comment. Appreciate that.
Seriously, man, we do appreciate that, man. Honestly, man, you just never, like, we just do the show, and whatever comes with it comes with it. So the fact that that you said it, man, means a lot, man. Seriously.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll catch you next week around the same time, and hope everyone enjoyed their New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and these crazy Bulls games. We got more on Monday. Oh, I wanted actually let's do that before we head off. I just wanted to see what we have this week, and maybe make a prediction of what we think is going to happen with our record. So this week we got the Magic on Monday, and then we don't have another game until Friday when we play the Wizards again at home, and then we have a Sunday game against the Mavericks at Dallas. So. I think they should go 2-1 this week. With the Wizards, I think they're going to have. Hopefully, they're going to have a much better time if we get Caruso back and Alonzo back and Javante back. I don't think they're going to be able to get as many paint points as they got.
No.
Mavericks gonna be they're gonna be a tough one. Magic and the Magic are, I know they're only 7-29, but that's they got a lot of good young players, and they play hard.
Franz is he's a
He's
problem.
killing it.
He's a problem, man.
And we don't have a lot of power forward guards. So
no.
What do you think? What do you think they're gonna do? I think they'll probably go 2-1.
So Monday, boom, boom, boom.
Call your shot 3-0.
So Monday, Friday, and Sunday. That's what we're talking about. Dallas.
Yep.
I think they'll go 3-0. I think they'll keep the streak going.
10-game winning streak.
They'll get rejuvenated with Lonzo coming back. Get another depth piece with McKinney coming back. I don't know when Caruso will be back, but getting Billy back, that's huge too. I think they can go 3-0. I know Dallas just got Luka back, and KP is starting to play a lot better. He's finally seeming like he's getting over that knee and getting over the different things that he's had. He's getting some rhythm back. That's the game I'm worried about. But again, this is the same team that lost to the Rockets when I said that. So I mean, I say 3-0. I'll go 3-0.
Well, these are 3 teams that they should beat. They're a better team than all 3 of these teams. Yeah. Now, here's to what to watch for. The next 5 games: Nets, Warriors, Celtics, Grizzlies, Cavs.
It's
so that
almost
was
like
tough.
You want them to get a loss so they can.
And then you got the Bucks right after that, and then you have Magic, Hawks, Thunder, Spurs, Blazers. So a little bit easier on that next stretch. But I would love for them to go 3-0 this week because I think they're gonna have some tough games in mid-January here. But good stuff. Good stuff.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days, 4-day rest.
Yeah.
And then a 1-day rest. Yeah, I think they can go
3-0. I hope so.
Yeah.
Let's hope you're right. All right. Let's do it. Let's get out of here. Let's go to bed. It's like it's 11:30 where I am, and it's 1:30 in Chicago. So I know your wife wants you in bed.
Man, yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with us, and make sure you subscribe to Barroom Network. Leave 5-star reviews, any podcast platform you use to listen to us, and check out Bulls Gold. It's our Salim and Ed. They run Bulls Gold, another podcast on the Barroom Network covering the Bulls. Really, really good stuff. And any Chicago sports you want, we got it here on Barroom Network. And thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.